Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to Ireland Bound. Um, yeah, if y'all remember back in October, I had done a video because somehow I had lost my footage of when I had done my application for my passport. And I thought that I had lost it permanently. Well, somehow I managed to get it back, and it took it took a little bit to get it all downloaded, but um, I I wanted to go ahead and show y'all because I know I tried to remember everything that I did, and try to inform y'all and to let you know. But since I actually found it, I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I want to show it to, because I mean I went to all the effort, I went to all the work, and I wanted to, since I did go to all that effort, because it took a little longer to do it because I was filming and I kept talking to the camera than if I had just gone in and filled out everything. If I just filled out my information, it probably would have taken like 20-30 minutes. But it took longer because of the fact that uh, I kept talking to the camera and explaining things. And so it's like I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to go ahead. I went through all that work, and I'm going to go ahead and show it. So I'm not going to stay here much longer. And you can tell it goes back in time because, see, my hair now, it's pretty long. You know, my hair has grown out since that time. And you'll get a lot of my short hair and how short it was back then. So long hair now, short hair then. So that's proof that it's not something that I just went and did here. It's like, oh, I'm going to tell everybody that. Yeah, no, my hair has grown out. This is my winter hair. That was the end of my summer hair. In case y'all don't remember, last year, of course, my hair was like this, and I had gotten it cut, and all of a sudden I had like this really short hair. And so it's like during warm weather I have short hair, during cold weather I have long hair. This is my cold weather hair. That was my warm weather hair because it was October and it was still pretty warm. So anybody that thinks, oh, you just went in, no, no, I can't grow hair that quickly. That's not possible for me. Actually, I don't know of anybody that's possible for. So, anyways, without any more ado, here is the um, the information that I recorded. It was, you'll see the timestamp. I believe it'll be right up here because I didn't realize that the timestamp would record onto the thing. It'll say October the 20th, 2023. Yeah, I had to stop and think, what year am I in right now? But yeah, so anyways, it takes you back. It's goes back to October, and so it'll show that on there, and you can kind of see how it goes. And if there's some strange little breaks in there, it's because for some reason, uh, my camera broke it down like into 14-minute segments. It's like 14, 14, 14, and then the last segment was like 7 minutes or something. So, like I said, if there's strange little breaks, it's because my camera kept breaking it down. So, without further ado, here is October the 20th, my application process. Alrighty, everybody. We are here. I am at my boss's office because they are very kindly and very sweetly allowing me to use their computer. Yeah, so, anyways, I'm just, when it gets to the personal information, y'all don't get to know that. That's my stuff. That's my stuff only. Y'all can't know that. But we will go through there and you will see how long. I will tell you, like the questions that we'll ask, things like that, so that way y'all can go through, but y'all don't get to see my answers. Sorry. But just to start it out here, see, up here we have travel, state, gov, content, travel, and passports. Basically, it's a link to tell you how to get to it. Different things you'll need. And over here, processing time, 8 to 11 weeks, expedited.
5 to 7 weeks for an extra $60. So if you want a little bit faster, you pay a little more. I'm not paying a little more. I'm just going to go with the normal time because right at this point we're still a year out. So I can take the little extra time. It says mailing times are not included in processing times. Processing times only include the time your application is at one of our passport agencies or centers. So even though they might say, oh yeah, we have it ready now, depending on how long it goes through the mail process. So give me a moment. I am going to have to put you guys back onto my tripod. Just got to get y'all set for a moment. Allie does not want to be on screen, so she is going to be here. If I mess up on something, she's going to basically correct me. So let's see. Get y'all in a little bit closer here. All right. All right, I think that'd be good. All right, so let's see. Fill out our primary application form using our form filler. Use the form filler to save time and reduce the chance of errors. We definitely want to reduce the chance of errors. Anyone who knows me knows that I am an error most of the time. So let's see. The form filler will create the correct form for you based on the data you enter. Double check the information you entered for your date of birth and previous passport issuance dates if you did not get the form you expected to receive. So, of course, this is my first one, so there's not going to be a previous. Let's see, if you are experiencing technical issues with our form filler, download a PDF and complete your form by hand. Okay, let's hope we don't have to do this by hand. That's going to take me quite a while. So we'll go with this. It's also got different things you can visit. Hold on. If I don't turn my phone off, I'm going to get distracted. Give me a second, guys. Being in a different environment, I totally forgot about my phone. There we go. It's off. Distraction gone. Okay. So coming down here, there is a primary application form for a U.S. passport. It's the DS11. That's probably the one that I want to start with. Am I correct?
Push it up.
Right here. Okay. Yeah. So the number one is the one that I want to start with because I'm not renewing, which would be the second one. I'm not correcting anything, which would be the third one. This is basically my very first passport. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and let's see, click the form filler. Okay. See, turn you all around here for a moment here. Yeah, see, travel, state gov, service of the Bureau of Consular Affairs. Don't ask me, I don't know yet. U.S. passport applications and forms, and of course talking about privacy and computer fraud and all that. And since they're talking about privacy, like I said, y'all don't get to know my personal information. So that basically it's going to be like most of the other privacy things. You know, they do everything they can to protect your information, but of course there's going to be that occasional hacker that's going to get in, which happens with everything, every single thing. So we're not going to worry about that. Let's see, I have read the privacy and computer fraud, like I said. For the most part, every single one of these is pretty much the same. There might be a few differences. Let's see, submit. Okay. Estimate your passport fees. Fill out your application online. What you'll need: most recent passport book if available. Nope. A printer. Yeah. Boss's printer's over there. Adobe Acrobat Reader. I'm going to assume she has that on there, considering that we're getting this set up. Fill out online and print. So that's probably where we'll need to go to. Says you can fill out the following forms: application for a U.S. passport, DS11, which of course is what we're wanting to do because we don't want to renew, we don't want to correct anything. I don't have anything to renew or correct yet. So hit submit. Of course, like I said, going down, the Privacy Act statements, that they will try to protect your information under all these different laws and stuff like that. For people who really, really, really like to read that, feel free to read it yourselves. Um, you know, People that like to be absolute thorough and certain on things. It says instructions. This form filler tool is not an online passport application. Instead, the form filler allows you to electronically enter your data and print a paper form with a barcode unique to the data entered. So basically, I'm going to have my own barcode. I don't think I can take it to Walmart, though. I don't think it'll work there. Well, who knows? It might. Okay, so basically, I will get my own barcode. Once you electronically complete your answers and print the form, you will then submit the form by mail or in person, depending on the form types. And they've got DS82, DS5504, which are forms by mail, and DS11, which is a form in person, which I believe that's one that we are filling out. Since the data you entered is directly captured in your application's unique barcode, please do not make any handwritten changes, corrections, or additions to the data or to the form after it is printed, as it may cause data error and processing delays. Okay, so big lesson right there. You make sure you get your information right the first time. Okay, this is not something you can change. You change it, you're going to mess it up. So you got to get it right here. Okay, get it right here. Let's see. If you notice any error after printing your form, or if you leave a field blank, please start over and complete a new form. Alert to families. Please do not use software, programs, or tools to digitally transfer or copy data from one family member's passport application form to another, as the barcode and information is only tied to one applicant's data. Okay, so basically don't do a screenshot. Don't do a screenshot and try to use it, because it's not going to work. You got to go in, you got to use your little fingers, and you got to type in all the correct information. Okay, please don't skip on this. Let's see. For the DS11 form, do not sign your name. Okay, do not. For those of us at a certain age that we see a line that says sign, do not sign your name. Do not. You must wait to take the oath and sign the form in front of a passport acceptance agent at a designated passport acceptance facility, or in front of the U.S. Department of State employee at a passport agency or center. Okay, that's going to be a fun one to do. Let's see, skip the DS82, that one, since we're not doing that one. Your information is not saved by the form filler, and you can no longer access after you print your form. Please carefully check your answers, because you cannot correct typographical or data errors after the form is printed. So basically, remember what your name is, spell it correct, get all the information right. Okay, now since this is going to get into the personal stuff, I'm going to turn it off the screen. Like I said, I like you guys, but I don't like you that much. Okay, let's see. Of course, there's no question what my first name is, because most everybody knows that. There are certain things that have red asterisks. Now, one thing I know from filling out things is if you have an asterisk on something, you have to put that in. Like, for instance, first name and last name. Okay? The middle name, they're leaving it optional. And then, of course, suffix, which would be for people who are like a senior or junior. In all truth of the matter, I would think that a suffix for, whether you're a senior, junior, third, whatever, I honestly think that would be important to have, because when there's multiple of you, I think it would kind of help to know, oh, this and this is for those of y'all who have seen some of my recent ones, where I have a John, oh, what's his name? There was John the Fourth, John Nicholas Cook. That's what it was. John Nicholas Cook the Fourth. You know, you want to make sure you have all the right ones in line. You know, it kind of helps. So, in all honesty, even though it doesn't have the red asterisk on there, if you are a junior, senior, third, fourth, you know, whatever, I would suggest, me personally, that you definitely put that in. That's just my personal. Let's see. You know what? I am going to go ahead and I'm going to fill in my middle name also, because I know from past experiences in the area I live in, there are 3 of us with my first and last name. So I'm going to make a little more claim here, make sure that it is mine. The other 2 Jennifers, I don't know what the middle names are, but at least with this one, I will know that it's mine. That's, like I said, that's just sort of my personal thing. So got my names in, my date of birth. They have it MMDDYYYY, which would be month, date, and year. So that'd probably be numerical. So, oh, there it is. I lost it for a moment. Okay. See, go back. I like to check as I go. Yes, I spelled my middle name correctly. Guess what? I spelled my middle name correctly. First and middle. Got them both. I'm doing good. Last name. Got my proper date. Okay, now it asks for the city of birth. Okay. I hope everybody knows where they were born. So they're not. They don't want to know what city you're currently living in. What city were you born in? You know, were you born? If you, okay, for those of you who have the unusual distinction of like being born in the back seat of the car while trying to get to the hospital, still put the city that was in, because by the time you got to the hospital, that they had that listed as that particular city. So I have to punch in, and I am not going to say that one because, like I said, not everybody knows that information. Country of birth. One of my coworkers, I just found out recently, was born in Germany, even though she lives in America. Her dad was in the military. So for her, you know, the country would be different than the United States. But of course, her being born in a military family, she has probably a military passport. So she would have to basically get that changed. So there's a lot of little things that happen with that. So let's see, state or territory. Let's see. And for those who don't know, I am a member of the greatest state on the planet, Texas. Of course, most of y'all probably already know that. Now here's some stuff y'all definitely don't need to know. It is my social security number. If you don't already have it memorized, make sure you have your card so that way you can get it taken care of. So, got that. And of course, gender. They have to know how tall are you. Okay, don't put your dream height. Put how tall you are. Hair color. Okay, for some of you people, it's the natural color you were born with. Okay, that's what they want to know, because in all honesty, if something happened, you know, the hair color could change. They want what your natural is, because like heaven forbid you should be kidnapped by someone, you won't get to keep that hair color. It's going to end up going away, or you're going to die and the color's going to fade out. So they need to know what the natural hair color is. Yeah, please do not put neon red. No one has neon red. Let's see, eye color. What color do you think mine is? Y'all leave it in the comments there. Occupation. Okay, well, whoops. I got a little carried away there. Put my okay, got my occupation. Okay, employer school. That's something else that y'all do not get to know because, well, y'all just don't get to know. Okay, so reviewing, we already did the name. I've got my proper date of birth. Remember, those of us in America, it is the month, the dates, and the year. Okay. And since it's a double thing, if you're born like January the 3rd, remember to put it like 0103. You got to put those zeros in first. If you don't, it's going to mess it up, and your birth is going to be very wacky. So please remember, if you're born in a month that is single digit or a day that's single digit, you have to put a 0 before it. All right, please remember that. Let's see. And okay, yes, social security number, city of birth, country of birth, state or territory of birth, social security number. Okay, got that. Gender, my height. Goodbye, the boss. Enjoy the game. He's gonna go watch the Rangers. Go Rangers. Let's see, hair color, eye color, occupation. Okay, good, we got it. So now we hit the next button. All right, contact information. Where should the passport be mailed? Okay, so basically your address. Where do you get all of your mail at? That is something else that y'all do not get to know. And of course, that is according to how it is. I mean, it's got to be mailed to you, okay? Whether your street address, rural address, P.O. box, whatever it might be, you have to put that in there. Make sure you get it all proper, because you don't want your passport being sent to someone else. Hello. Without thinking, I pulled the country down and I started trying to put a different country. Whoops. Shame on me. All right, there we go. And okay, there. So I've got my proper address, however you would write it. It tells you how to do it, apartments, suites, whatever. Your city, your state, your zip code, and the country. In care of, in other words, if you're sending it like to someone else, like for some reason you want your parents to hold on to it for you, then it'd be like in care of your mother's name, your father's name, which I don't want to do that. For like a child, of course, that's pretty much, if it's an underage, 17 or younger, it's got to go to the parents. So, is this your permanent address? Yes, this is my permanent address. What do you mean? Oh, okay, fine. Okay. So, I just found out something. P.O. boxes cannot be listed as permanent addresses. So it'd have to be a physical address to be listed as a permanent address. So for me, because I have a P.O. box, you will have to mark it as a no. Okay. Well, a lesson that I just learned that I'm passing on to y'all. P.O. boxes are not considered a permanent address. Something like 101 West 1st Street. That's a permanent address. But P.O. boxes are not permanent addresses. Okay, so Now, come down here a little bit further, since that's not what would be considered a permanent address, it's now asking me to enter a permanent address, which I'm guessing that they mean my actual home physical location. Okay, so I've got to do that now. And no, y'all don't get to know that either. I know, I'm no fun, am I? Okay, country, state. Alright. Alright, there we go. Preferred method of communication by mail. Email address. They want an email address. Okay, so put in your, there it is. I'm not used to typing on keyboards. I'm having trouble finding everything. Okay, so they ask for an email address, and then you have to confirm it. So you got to type it in, and you can. Alright. Yep. Just gonna go back up here. Okay, yeah, I got my physical location correct. Name, what country it's in. I'm still in the United States, at least until next year. Texas, zip code, mail, email address. Okay, now your phone number. It's leaving it as an option. Okay, it doesn't have the little red asterisk, so if you would prefer not to get constant messages, you can leave that one blank. They do not have a red asterisk. You do not have to have that one. So I'm going to leave it blank. Travel plans. Date of your trip. Let's see. For a second there, I almost put my birth year. Okay, so the date that I plan on leaving, that's the date that I plan on leaving, and the date of my return. All right, countries to be visited. Okay, now there's a note on this one, so we're going to look at the note here. It says if you are traveling within 2 weeks, do not mail in your passport application. If you do, your application may not be completed before your travel date. Please call the National Passport Information Center at, and then it gives the phone number, and of course it's got one for like people that have to have the text, someone, they get a hold of someone, someone texts in the information form. It says to make an appointment to appear in person at a passport agency and receive expedited processing. Because remember, this takes about 2 months. Okay, I mean that was like 7 to 8 weeks. I mean that's like 2 months. So if you're sending it in 2 weeks and thinking you're going to get it, yeah. The only way they do that is for like an emergency. Like for instance, let's say, I'm going to use this as an example. Let's say that while I'm in Ireland, which y'all already know that's where I'm going. Let's say I'm in a car accident and I need someone to come over and get me because of the fact that, both my arms are broken and I can't do anything. So I have to have someone come get me. Sorry, Allie raised her hand. They had an incident happen a few years ago when their kids got sick while they were overseas in Germany. But yeah, like let's say both my arms got broken, so I have to have someone come get me. Let's say I get a hold of my niece and I tell her, hey, I need you to come get me. Both my arms are broken. I'm not going to be able to get through, customs. So she would have to go up and file for an emergency passport. And of course they'd ask why, and it's like, okay, medical problems here. So, hold on just a second. I was just noticing my battery is getting low. These things do not stay up very long. So just give me a second, guys, while I am doing this. Hopefully I won't move the camera too much. Give me a second. There it is. There. All right. There we go. Yep, it's charging. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I just I looked up and I realized that my battery was low, and so I had put a charger on it. I've got a battery cell, so that way I can charge if I'm in an emergency thing like this. So, anyways, like I said, I might have to get a hold of my niece. She would come and basically say, hey, my aunt is in medical problems. I have to fly to Ireland to get her. In which case, she would be given an emergency visa and an emergency passport where she could come immediately to get me and to take care of me. Like I said, I don't want anything like that to happen. But it does happen, and so that's why they have these emergency things. Like I said, if you're traveling alone, you definitely need to have someone that can come get you. Let's see, countries to be visited. Like I said, everyone already knows I'm going to Ireland. Next. Who should we contact in case of an emergency? Okay. I am going to put in a name, and I tell y'all who it is. Now it doesn't have like the person who I'm doing this. I don't have their street address. I don't have any of that thing, so they don't have it red marked. Okay, this isn't a section that you have to do. But considering that, like I said, hopefully, actually, I have 2 people, maybe 3, who say that they could be going. So, I won't be completely alone, but if something happens and I end up going alone, I want there to be emergency contact people, because they will put that in the passport. So, like I said, if I'm in a car accident or something, I'm passed out cold, they can pull up the passport and go, oh, this person here, I need to contact them. So, let me pull up my contact list, because I've got to look up her phone number. I don't have this particular person, their phone number memorized. How many people have numbers memorized? Not very many of us anymore, do we? Okay, there we go. There we go. So, I'm putting in, it says no dashes, so don't do dashes. So it would be straight. Okay, so double check, since this isn't a number that I'm used to putting in. Double check to make sure I have it correct. Okay, it looks like I have it correct there. And relationship. You know, it would be nice for them to know, like, do you have your child's number in there if you're an adult? Or do you have your parents in there, a sibling, you know, whoever it is, you know, let them know, because when the police are calling, it'd be nice for them to say, hey, Mr. Whoever, you know, your daughter is here in the hospital, your niece is here in the hospital, your aunt is here in the hospital, your sister, your cousin, your friend, you know, whoever, you know. So it's good to have that information. So move on to the next. They want a street address. They didn't have it right that it had to be required. Oh, wait a minute. I do have her address. I forgot. I had to text her because I went to her house this weekend. I forgot that I had. There it is. Okay, here we go. Okay, I completely and totally forgot I had her address. I was going stuck. Okay, so okay, almost there. Like I said, information I'm not used to putting in, so I have to double check myself. State. Yeah, there's actually several states that have this city name, so okay, so give me a second. Okay. Okay, let's try that a different way. Y'all are just going to have to bear with me for a moment because okay, there we go. I got it. Okay, so if you're looking up an address, if you're looking up a zip code, I just figured out that if you put in the full address, it will give you the zip code. Just a little helpful hint if you can't find it for anything else. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now this next one says your most recent passport. Have you been issued any of the following? Passport book, passport card, or both? And I'm going to have to go with none because this is my very first. Applicant's parents and spouse information. Okay, I do not have that. Let's see. So, next. Alright. I gotta figure out how to get past this. Applicant's parents and spouse information. Please, since both my parents are gone, since I am not married, let me read through this for a moment. Mother, father, parent of application, same thing, spouse of applicant. How do I get past this? Allie, any thoughts?
I think it's actually to like look you up,
Yeah.
so they would need it. I would just go ahead and enter parents' information
Okay.
because I think they use it to look you up.
Okay. All right. So I'll put in parents. First and middle name at parents' birth. Okay. It's a good thing I know all my parents' information. Let's see. Um, oh, okay. Um, okay, brothers. At birth. Okay, so that would be all right. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Okay, I got to pull mom's information from mom here. I got my brain trying to work on it. What's the name of the place? Yes, I remember now. There we go. There is error in the following fields: mother, father's, parents, date of birth. No, there's not. There's, oh, okay, yes there is. Yes there is. I got that wrong. I had my dad born after I was. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. Okay, list all other names you have used. I haven't used any other names. Okay. I've only used this one name my whole life. Okay, let's see. Name. I got it all spelt right. Date of birth. City I was born in. My social. Gender. How tall I am. Hair color, eye color, occupation, and where I work. Mailing address. Yeah, right so far we've got it all going correct. Got my physical location. Yep. Email. Make sure I got my email spelled right. Okay. The beginning and ending of my trip, where I'm going to, who would need to be contacted, no passport, no pass card, father, correct date on my father. I put him basically born just a couple of years ago. Let's see where he was born. My mother. Yeah, got hers right. So basically, it'd be my mother's maiden name, which is what they were wanting to know because it says at time of birth. Let's see, Dalhart. Email yes. I'm not married. Okay. Everything looks correct. I even got everybody's name spelled right. So next, passport products and fees. Travel documents for me. So it says passport options. A passport book, $130. Passport card, $30. Since there's no personal information, I'm going to turn it around so that way anybody who might want to look at it, you can see. Yeah, see, passport book, $130. Passport card, $30. The U.S. passport card cannot be used for international air travel. So that one would just be like if I was crossing over into Mexico or Canada, something like that, where I wouldn't have to go by air. So since I'm probably don't want the passport book, that would be $130. Says this travel document can be used for enter the United States from Canada, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Bermuda at land border crossings or seaport of entry. If I wanted to get both, it would be $160. Which, in all honesty, since I'm going to have the passport book, why would I need the card? You know, I'm traveling to Ireland, so additional fees, file search, 150, execution acceptance fee, okay, $35. Total payable to Department of State, 35, total 35. Okay, so come back up here. 130. Okay, so it says large book non-standard. Not going to check that. It says this large book is only for frequent international travelers who need more visa pages. It might be a couple of years before I'm going again, so we can hold off on that. I'm not doing the passport card and book. Okay, now down here, processing methods. Routine service, free, so I don't have to pay for that. I don't have to have it expedited because I'm doing it about a year ahead of time. Most international residents must select routine service. Canadian residents, okay, we're not that. Delivery methods, passport book, standard delivery, free. If you want to get it in 1 to 2 days, you can pay an extra $20. Like I said, I don't have to have it that quickly, so I'm not going to pay the extra. Additional fees, file search. This is, any idea what the file search is? Execution acceptance fee.
I don't think you need the file search.
Okay. All right. We'll pass on that unless it tells us otherwise. So it says total payable to Department of State, 130. Acceptance facility, 35. So it's $165 right there. U.S. government employees, U.S. military personnel, if your federal agency or military branch travel coordinator has instructed you to apply for a no-fee passport for official government travel, please select passport book only and continue. Okay, so I'm going to hit next. Let's see. All right, next step, after reading and acknowledging your understanding of the instructions, you will be ready to print your passport form. Okay, that's not the actual book, that's the form so you can get the book. DS-11 application for a U.S. passport. Yeah, so there's some numbers there. Passport.
This is my
Paperwork Reduction Act statement. After reporting burden of this collection of, I see stuff about Virginia. I'm going to pass on that. I might have read it later, but I'm going to pass on that. How to submit your forms. Inside the United States. We are inside the United States. You must appear in person an acceptance facility or a passport agency with your DS-11. Locate a facility or agency near you. So I'm going to click, well, no, I'm not going to click on that because that might give away too much information. But if you need to find information or find out where the nearest place would be, that's where you go. What to submit with your forms. One recent passport photo. Click here to view details of submitting passport photo. Correct passport fees, which is going to come to $165. So payable to your acceptance facility. All that, so it's $165 for all that. Proof of U.S. citizenship. Birth certificate, certificate of naturalization, consular report of birth abroad, which would be like military families or someone who they're working for a company that sends them overseas, things like that. That's birth abroad. Citizenship certificate or a previous U.S. passport. Proof of identity, valid photo ID like a driver's license. Okay, for those who don't have driver's license, you can get ID cards, which will have your name, it'll have your picture on it. That's what you would go with. So, proof of identity. So, let's see, the only thing really that I would be missing, I've got to locate my birth certificate. And just for information, if you know what city you were born in, you can go to the courthouse of that county. Like, for instance, Dallas County, or we'll do Tarrant County. If you're born in Tarrant County, you go to the Tarrant County Courthouse. If you're born in Dallas County, you go to the Dallas County Courthouse. Whatever the courthouse is in that area, that's usually where you'll get it. Sometimes you can call and they'll tell you where to get your birth certificate. Sometimes you can go to an annex and get it from an annex. So that's where you would get your birth certificate from. So let's see. Come down here. Print your forms. Do not sign your DS-11. Okay, so when I get a sign print on single-sided paper. We cannot accept double-sided forms. Compare your printed form to what appears on your screen. Make sure all data blocks and the barcode appear clearly and in the same format. If there are any distortion, smudges, missing blocks, or data or fading, it may be due to variation in printer types, printer drivers, or low ink levels. If you cannot correct these problems after checking your printer, do not submit the form. Instead, download a blank form from our passport forms page and complete it by hand in black ink. Okay, so you need to make sure that you not only have a computer, but you have a printer where you can print it out, and that the printer is in good shape, and that the printer works right. Last thing you want is for things to be messed up. Let's see, I have read and acknowledged the steps and information contained above. Okay, so I am going to turn it off here instead of printing. If there's something more that I can let y'all in on, I will. But for right now, we are going to call that good. If there's something more, I'll be back with y'all in a few moments.